people. They know what they like, and it's me. Happy Monday, everyone. So RFK Jr. has endorsed Donald Trump, and it's caused a massive outcry among the Kennedy family. But hey, it's not like he drove a car right off the bridge with a lady in it. In a resurfaced interview with RFK Jr.'s daughter, she recalls him using a chainsaw to behead a dead whale, which now explains why ABC never asked RFK to sit down with The View. Former classmate of RFK Jr. is accusing him of being a coke dealer at Harvard in the 1970s, saying he bought a gram from him for $40, which is $300 in today's dollars. Not a bad price, said one man. Meanwhile, the Secret Service has ended protection for RFK Jr. following suspension of his campaign. This is a move experts say will add years to his life. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is still keeping a low profile on vacation. Here he is, relaxing in the sun.
That's awesome. I approve that joke.
The Trump and Harris campaign are arguing over the rules to the upcoming debate. The Trump campaign wants the mics to be turned off, and the Harris campaign wants the debate to take place in an open field in front of a sloped roof. We're on, baby. Nice. The Washington Post has declared that Doug Emhoff is a sex symbol. And if you don't believe the Post, just ask his kid's nanny. Wow. Meanwhile, his wife Kamala has now gone 5 weeks without holding a news conference. But she did go on Yelp to write a scathing review on nannies. I don't care. 2 stranded NASA astronauts are not expected to make it back to Earth until at least February of 2025. But if they want to get here sooner, they can always come through the southern border. These are hidden.
It's Monday.
And Nancy Pelosi is blaming Kathy Hochul for the Dems losing their House majority in 2022. They plan to meet face-to-face, so they're sending theirs via FedEx. All right, let's do a monologue. Now, the Democrats may not create jobs, but they do create a lot of ex-Democrats. Because when you hold a 4-day pep rally to introduce your candidates, but tell us nothing about where they stand on issues, smart people know that you're hiding something. And what happens when you hide stuff? Smart people bail. RFK Jr. is the latest big name to cut the chain from the sinking ship. But you'd think RFK is unique. No. Let's look at a few others who have fled. There's Elon Musk, who flipped on the left due to those nutty ideas he has about the First Amendment. Before Elon took over X, Hunter's laptop was fake and Dylan Mulvaney's gender was real. Turns out both had Then there's Joe Rogan, who went from solid left to sort of libertarian right. He's no Trump fan, just a fan of policies that don't mutilate kids. And thanks to calling out libs, his audience grew faster than Rachel Levine's 5 o'clock shadow. There are others that have left the left. Russell Brand, Dave Rubin, Barry Weiss, Brett Weinstein, Matt Taibbi, Glenn Greenwald, Naomi Wolf, Oliver Stone, Johnny Rotten, Jordan Peterson, Bill Maher. Hell, Tulsi Gabbard, another former Democrat, just endorsed Trump today. You're welcome. You're welcome. So what's with all these smart people acting smart? Maybe you noticed something. Among all these clever, original thinkers, you don't see any going in the other direction. You're more likely to see Caitlyn Jenner doing an ad for Just for Men. You laughed at those other ones and not that one? People. Sure, we've had Republicans like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger switch, but that's not over policy. That's personality and ego, theirs. They can't accept Trump is more popular than they are. But sadly for them, so is hepatitis C. Cartoonist Scott Adams compares it to people going from Windows to Mac. The migration is one way, and once you've gone over, you never return. Because switching back would be like going from this to this. Now there's another former lefty that you all know who also came to his senses, me. Like a lot of us, I was liberal in my campus days before I had to face the real world. Then I saw the half equation of liberalism, those pie-in-the-sky demands that leave out the second part of the equation, which is who pays for the Well, that's when someone explained to me where taxes come from. Let's not forget the biggest former Democrat of them all, Donald J. Trump. He used to mingle with sensible Dems in NYC, but after decades of watching their party rot from inside, he took his ginormous pair of balls and went home. All right, so as the Dems whine about losing RFK and now Tulsi, they have only themselves to blame. Because while the left can embrace the American flag once every 4 years to hide their extremism, the Republicans have a secret advantage: reality. It's hard to play people's heartstrings when their wallet is empty and their daughter's forced to shower next to a fat dude. And what about those Dems who are screaming about betrayal over RFK? Didn't they just betray their own? Right now, as we speak, there's a visiting angel still cleaning the stab wounds in Joe Biden's back. Fact is, the most diverse party in history is over here in this hot tub of free radicals. That's because the people in this pirate ship don't hail from a designated group with special demands. No one represents blacks or gays or women or black gay women. They're all individuals, from RFK to Tulsi, from evangelical to anarchist. This eclectic, brilliant bunch represent themselves. It's not a block, but souls unto themselves. It's the Wild Bunch meets the Magnificent Seven with a splash of Expendables thrown in. And it's the most rebellious club on the planet. I just spit out food. With Trump, RFK, and Vance, you may be witnessing the most anti-establishment campaign in modern history. This is real hope and change, not the fake camouflaged in racial dogma and hoaxes. No wonder the media has circled its wagons around Harris. When you see this bunch coming, wouldn't you?
Let's roll period.
Tonight's guest. He likes his watches how he likes his women. One on each arm. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary. This boxing reporter is a total knockout. DAZN boxing reporter Emily Austin. As a judge and comic, his jury instructions come with a 2-drink minimum. Comedian Vince August. And his idea of a light lunch is eating a lighthouse. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA World Champion. Kevin, what was your take from last week? And also, what do you make of RFK and Tulsi getting on the Trump train, so to speak?
RFK, who I happen to have met just 50 feet from here in a green room, is a pragmatic guy. He went to see Harris. She said, no, Nanette. And he said, okay, there's no home for me here. I've got a few mandates I want to pursue. I wonder what the other guy would say to me. And the other guy said, hey, we take everybody in. Come on down. And what do you care about? Turns out he cares about children's health. I don't think that's a crazy thing.
No.
And he wants to get involved, so he did his deal. I don't think that's nuts. Now, he said he had about 5% share. I don't know how much that contributes back to Trump. But the reason all this is happening is within their own party, they don't know what it stands for because the leader of the pack won't talk to the press. What do we have the press for if it isn't to rip into presidential candidates? It's a little freaky, and I've got a solution to it. I think she should come on this show first.
Yes.
You know why? Tell you why.
You know, I think we're the show of joy.
No. We are the most dysfunctional family in America. Right here. She should join us and talk to us about the future.
You know what scares me is I might end up really liking her.
Well, could happen.
What scares me is how big a pair of bongos I'm going to have while she's talking.
Emily, what do you make of this news? RFK's family is really pissed off at him. More pissed off at him about voting for Trump than you know who, driving off a bridge.
I know. Honestly, you know, Bobby's a good friend of mine as well. He is way too smart to be part of the Democratic Party, which has become the party of elites, essentially. He leaves no question unanswered. Well, Kamala running for president has not answered a single question. She never goes into policies. Bobby's been very transparent about his policies. But as much as I'd love to give Trump the credit for attracting all of the Democrats, unfortunately, it's the lefties that are forcing everyone to go right, which is the party of common sense and rationality. So ultimately, for a functional society, you need three things. Basic: borders, controlled spending, security. Now, when the Democrats leave you none of that, they don't even answer questions, they don't hold press conferences, for God's sake, then you don't really have a choice. You feel unsafe. The chaos unfolding forces you to vote for Trump. And I said this before, Trump's best campaigner then was Joe Biden, and today it's Kamala Harris, because the more you let them speak and expose themselves, the more people run to the ballots to vote for Trump, and that's just final.
Yes. Well, thank God we won't be seeing more of Joe exposing himself.
Yeah.
Vince, though, there is one problem in this, and that is the media will not put any pressure on Kamala. So she'll be, you know, she might not be the best spokesperson for Trump because she ain't going to say anything.
Yeah, but you hid the last time, and it worked on what was basically, we're going to turn this around, and it's not going to be what it was. But now we've had a full shot at it. So we've seen it for 4 years. So that's not going to work the next time. And I think what Trump needs to do is now get out there with Tulsi Gabbard, get out there with RFK, and even broaden it more. Bring in Nicole Shanahan, bring in all of these people to say, hey, you know what? At least this party's listening to everybody, as opposed to, you know, we look different, but you have the same ideas. This side actually thinks different and brings all those different ideas together.
Yeah, you know what? It's something that, like, you can't. Something you really can't talk about a lot in America is the weight problem, and it's RFK is coming right at that, Tyrus. He's like, yeah, I mean, he's talking, like, when he says stuff, you look out. There were, like, when we were growing up, there was one fat kid in the class. Remember that?
Yeah, but like, if you watch, me and my daughter, we watched Goonies the other day. And she was like, why is Chunk, they call him Chunk? Not that fat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What he's bringing up is he's going after the two biggest monsters in this country. So that's not going to stand. So they're going to tear him down regardless, because pharma and the food pyramid world, they're not going to change. That's why Europe and other countries are healthier and happier than us, because they don't put in their food that our people do for profit. But I think I have to disagree with everyone. She doesn't need to talk to the media, because the media is not her lane.
Right.
She's the meta candidate. All of her people are wokesters. Wokesters don't participate in real life. They participate in social media, where they appear bigger than what they are. It's a mirror, it's smoke and mirror. So she's going to let social media talk for her. She has the mainstream media in her back pocket. Even if she doesn't talk to them, they're going to talk for her. Anyone speaks against them, they're going to go after them. So there's no reason for her to do that, and they don't want her to talk because they know what it is. I'm sure every one of them has been in a closed-door meeting with him. We've been that way, where someone comes in like, hey, I got some ideas for the show. And they're like, I think I should be, you know, naked juggling behind you. And you're just like, yeah, right, thanks for your time. Tyrus, get him out. And
that was Brit Hume, if I remember.
Yes, that was Brit Hume. He was like, all right. But to that point, what you're going to see is she's going to rely on Facebook, and Insta, and all those things that support her. And anybody who puts it, like if I put a picture, I'm like, Greg Gutfeld's tall. No one will be able to see it. It goes against community guidelines.
I've tried.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a blatant lie, but it's not the point.
But it doesn't work this time, because all of the things that you said that made you a Democrat are all the populist things now that are actually pushed by the Republicans.
Yeah.
So the people that are going to follow the policies rather than the person are saying, wait a minute, everything that I believed in as a Democrat is on that side now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's not the people she's going for.
No.
Biden hid in the basement. She's going to hide in the metaverse.
Kamala's strongest asset is not that people actually like her. It's just that their ego won't let them vote for Trump. A vote for her is just an F you to Trump. It's not because anyone actually thinks she's capable.
Yeah.
Excellent points made by all, especially me. I made the best points. I made the best points.
Yeah, when you spit that food out your mouth, I was like, wow.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was, but that's never happened. It was just flew right out, and I got to acknowledge that there was food flying out of my mouth. That ever happened on Shark Tank?
Never happens on Shark Tank because we edit it out.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.